Hey, welcome to How to Deal with a Weakness in 60 Seconds. Now, I've got a funny feeling this is not going to finish in 60 seconds, but I will do my best. So I want to talk today about how to handle a weakness of yours, which is maybe a strength of someone else's. Or on the flip side, how do you handle a strength of yours that might be someone else's weakness? This typically happens in a partnership or a team environment where someone has got a strength and they want to do something a particular way because they know how to do it. And someone else maybe doesn't feel comfortable with doing it because it's not their thing. Now, common sense for me would say, well, you go do that thing you're really good at because I suck at it and I just don't want to do it. But sometimes we have to pull our weight together and we need to help each other. So let's take the example of Activator and something like Deliberative. Activator, like me, pushes a button and says, let's go. Deliberative says, well, actually, before we push the button, let's push pause and let's think about why we're doing this. What are the benefits? What's the outcomes? What's the strategy? Is there a strategy before we make a decision? Now, as a team, that can often be very useful because I can tell you from experience, sometimes us activators make decisions that maybe we should have thought about a bit more. But other times we're just like, man, can everyone please back off and just let me do my thing because I like pushing the button. There needs to be sometimes some kind of a compromise. Now, what I learned from the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, was this idea of a win-win. So let's say, for example, you want to go networking or you need to go networking or you enjoy networking, but someone else on your team or your business partner doesn't enjoy it. Now, there's two things you can do. The networker can go do the networking, but if the other person needs to build their network or broaden their skills or push themselves a little bit, or they need to come and show their face because this is a new business, then how can you take that person along for the ride when chances are they don't really want to be there? Well, the activator in the woo, the person that loves winning them over, needs to kind of slow down, turn down that desire to get out there and meet new people and get business cards and build my database. They need to turn that down so that they can meet that deliberator, that person that has a high need to think carefully about their decisions, and maybe they've got Relator as well, and therefore they protect their network, they protect the people they let into their space rather than just bringing in everyone that can fog up a mirror, because people like me with woo like to meet new people and build their database, have more people on Facebook, blah, 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 blah. We won't go into the psychology of that today. Let's get back to the networking event. So you're at a networking event. How can you make it as comfortable as possible for everyone? Well, what you can do is you can ask them what would make it easier for them to be more prepared for the event. Maybe they need business cards. Maybe they need to do some research on who's going to be there. Maybe they need to have a script so they know what to say. Maybe they need a 60-second pitch. So if that's what they need, let them do that. Give them space to do that. Don't push them into a situation they don't want to be in. An example that Stephen Covey made in his book was this beautiful example of a family that wanted to go on a holiday, but they couldn't decide, and correct me if I'm wrong, if I get this wrong, they couldn't decide on whether to go to the beach or go to the mountains. So the wife, I remember from probably 10 years ago in the book, said she wanted to go to the beach. And the husband's like, no, I want to go camping and I want to go up into the mountains. Well, what did they do? If he got what he wanted, it would be a win-lose, a win for him and a lose for her. If she got what she wanted, it would be a win for her and a lose for him. And meanwhile, the two kids are in the middle going, well, I don't know what to do. So enter the third alternative. The third alternative is where you don't pick a win-lose or a lose-win, but you pick a win-win. And you would commonly know this as compromise. So what did that family do? Well, they picked somewhere in the middle of the beach and the mountains. Here in Adelaide, we call them foothills, and in the middle of those two is not very far. And they chose a spot so they could make day trips both ways. So they could make day trips to the beach and they could make day trips to the mountains. And that way everyone was happy. So to wrap this up, I want you to think about the talents and strengths that you've got or weaknesses that you've got and how you can manage them, how you can turn down that strength so it doesn't bully everyone else into doing what you want, and how you can come to a compromise. If you've got any questions, let me know. I could talk about this stuff all day because I love talking about strengths. Comment below. Check in with you again soon.